I just saw it a long time ago.
Let me get off. Let me ask the question I had because I kind of went off on a rant and rave there. But let me get
So do I. So do I.
My question is, it has to do with Freemasonry because it's along my bloodlines and I know my grandfather and my uncles, they were all Navy. My uncle right now is a 33rd degree Freemason of the Blue Lodge, and my last name is Duncan in the Book of the Scottish Rite.
That's right. That's right.
So these are all studious things that I figured out on my own. I was never told this, and you were a help with that. But what I really wanted to say is, I know there's all these different degrees of Freemasonry according to Manly P. Hall. I have a huge book sitting in front of me of Manly P. Hall, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and I kind of wanted to get your opinion, because I know you've met with Dave personally, your opinion on the symbol that he has on his left hand, on the upper part of his hand, which is a double-headed eagle, I believe, or phoenix, and it looks to me like, isn't that the representation of a certain degree of Freemasonry? And is it true that Masonry is, let's see, there's 33 degrees that are attainable on this planet, and there are 180 degrees attainable by man, and 180 that are extraterrestrial, which means there's 360 degrees of Freemasonry, according to Manly P. Hall.
Well, first of all, that double-headed eagle, the double-headed phoenix, is actually the double-headed eagle. That's a very, very ancient symbol that's been used by many countries and many cultures long before Freemasonry was ever born. It goes all the way back to the old Hittites. I think they were about the first ones that had a double-headed eagle, was the ancient Hittites. And from then, we see it in Sumeria, Babylonia, Phoenicia, Cana, in the Middle East, all over the Middle East. But it's a very ancient symbol, and it's taken on different meanings for different cultures. So I don't put much emphasis or concern about that particular symbol. But in relation to Freemasonry, that's a very big subject because American Freemasons gave us they gave us the what little bit of modicum of freedom we actually had after the Revolutionary War in the late 1700s with the Revolutionary War. That was all part of a Masonic movement, and so Freemasons are responsible for giving us what freedom we have today. Also, our major religions, especially the Protestant religion, Protestant Christianity and Judaism, are Masonic institutions, period.
Whoa.
Well,
That's
let me.
very interesting. I hate to interrupt. I'm going to get off the line and let you guys finish. My grandmother, a full-blood Irish woman, Catholic, married my grandfather, who was the Duncan, the James Arthur Duncan of all names, right? They go back to the Masonry and the bloodlines. He was half Native American, half Scotch, and was Protestant, and my grandmother's whole family stopped talking to her when she married him.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I hate to cut this short. I got to go, but I appreciate everything. Thank you.
No, it's quite all right. Nice talking to you. We'll talk again.
Okay.
So anyway, what we call
Jordan,
Christianity. Yes.
Go ahead.
David, did you have something?
I will in a minute.
Okay. What we call today Christianity is in fact Freemasonry. Period. End of sentence. And so the whole concept of Christianity is a Masonic philosophy. So when I hear people talking about how the evil Freemasons have infiltrated the church, no. The Freemasons gave you the church. The very concept of church and Christianity is a Freemasonic symbol. It's a Freemasonic order. It came out of Europe. And ultimately it can go back to the Crusades of the Holy Roman Empire. It goes all the way back to the Knights Templars, which was when you're breaking down all of this stuff of religion, you need to understand the Vatican is not a religious institution. It is a military institution. This is why they have missions We have on the out west in America, you have what is called Catholic missions, and and these are beautiful so-called churches. No, they are fortresses, because the very word mission in a law dictionary, go to a library and get a law dictionary, look up the word mission. It's a military term. And so the Roman Empire under the Caesars were not there when they talked about God. When the ancient Caesars of Rome talked about God, they're talking about themselves. They are God. You don't think so? Mess with them. And so they didn't care about, they had all of these other imaginary things going on in heaven and the Roman theology, but their gods were human. Caesar was God. And so it's passed down to us today, that which we call the Christian religion is actually a construct of ancient Masonic orders coming out of ancient Egypt, coming out of ancient Rome, ancient Greece. There were secret societies or fraternal orders that we refer to loosely, quasi-Masonic orders that were in ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, that morphed into and eventually became known as Christianity and Judaism and Islam. All three are called the people of the book. All three are the product of secret societies of Freemasonry. Period. All three are. I mean, that's why it's so overwhelming when you finally sit down and spend years looking at this, tracing back where these Masonic orders come from, where the churches have come from, where the concept of the synagogue comes from. Why is it called a synagogue? Most people have no idea. They've never asked that question. I asked it when I was 12 years old. I didn't get any answers until I was old enough to start thinking for myself and doing my own research, and then I began to see what the real name of the tune was and how this stuff is being played. So I'm just telling you, there's a world of history that you have never been told. And it's about time, I think it's an ideal time has come, to start looking at the real story of where Christianity really came from and where Islam actually started. And if there was no Muhammad, as I feel there was no Muhammad, I think I could prove it, and there's been too many good reference books written about the fact that no Muhammad ever lived. Well, we know that no Moses and all the rest of these people never lived in the Old Testament Bible. There was no King David and King Solomon. Solomon was simply a Masonic term, Sol, Om, On. It goes back to the pyramids. Pyramids were called pyramids of the sun. They were the mountains of the sun pyramids. And today we even say in Mexico and South America and in Egypt, these are the pyramids of the sun. That's what we call the Messiah. He was the Son of Man, the Son of God. When you put the two together and begin looking at the actual etymology of the words and where these symbols have come from, it's a very, very big story. It takes many, many years of looking at this stuff to figure it out that what we call our religions in the Western world today are actually Freemasonry. So I don't have anything against good Freemasons. Like any other normal human organization, there is good and bad in everything. My mother taught me a long time ago as a child that people are either good or bad, not because of who they are or what church they go to or what they believe. They're just good or bad. And it's true. And I have learned that the people who are good are just good. Now, I don't care if they're Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses or Catholics or atheists. It doesn't matter. If they're good people, they're just good people. If they're bad, it doesn't matter what they belong to. They're just plain bad. And so I don't care about what people's lifestyles are and who they are, what they believe. I don't care about that. I want to know who are they really in real life. Are they good and decent people or aren't they? So I don't have anything against Freemasonry, and especially in America.